Welcome back. So okay, let's get started, and we're going to start with the roof, the front panel, and then we'll probably do maybe these two sides, something like that. This is why toenailing is awful. This just popped right out. I'm gonna have to reinforce that with some strapping. Whew. Everything is freezing. There we go. That ain't going nowhere. Now we're just going to repeat the same thing for the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and get those cut up right now and put up, and then I'll catch back up with you when we're done with that. Never happened. Way to deal with this. Just kind of get it up there, and then I'll mark off all the lines where it's got to be cut, and just go back to the circular saw and take off the little pieces. Now when you're making a cut like this, the idea is you want to set the depth of the blade so that it's no deeper than the wood you're cutting. And that'll make it so that you can freely cut the piece that you're trying to get without cutting through the rest of the structure. Okay, so now there's a really thin piece left behind, and I'm just gonna... There we go. Now it leaves a bit of a rough edge, but we're gonna be covering this up with edging or, you know, epoxy or something. So it's okay. We won't see it here. Okay, so now this is where our door is supposed to be, right? So we got it all covered up. In order to get this open back up, I'm gonna go inside, get a drill out from the inside at the four corners. That way I know, I'm going right up against 2x4s. Then draw my line along those holes, do the cut. Here it is. Now I gotta get these corners somehow. Or the bottoms. So I didn't overcut, so I need to get those correctly. Let me try a chisel. Some quality tools right here. Oh, I got another idea. Hulk smash! That worked. There we go. Now I just gotta clean up the corners and edges a little bit. The bottoms have a little more stuff on them because I wasn't able to get quite as close to the blade. know, this is kind of neat. So I got the roof on and all the sheathing on the sides and everything like that, and I was just sitting down to talk to the camera, and I feel like I'm in it now. You know what I mean? Like it's really becoming real at this point, because I can sit here, I can get my legs up, and let's say it's raining or something like that. You know, it's raining out there, and I can be sitting here and enjoying the scenery. This is pretty cool.
Little guy.
Yeah.
That's in our little house.
Isn't this nice?
This is nice. I like it.
Okay, so we were just talking about what to do with the back door here. That's the next thing I got to start wrapping my head around. This is kind of the big deal. This is going to be what makes this trailer unique compared to all the other ones we've seen, and it's something we really want is the way this door is going to work. So I want to get it right. This is where it gets tricky. We basically have 3 boards that we have to get in, and we have to get them in such a way that everything else is going to work. I think we'll work on this one first. Let's do that. I need another one now going across the top. And the big conundrum is, do I leave that flat? Do I slope it with this board? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 2x4s going across. We're going to cut them the same way we did the beams that are holding up the rest of the roof. So it's going to be kind of cut like this. Okay, header now. Okay, so I'm going to get another board here just to beef this corner up, because this will be what this door that comes out is going to be supported by, and I think that's a little bit wiggly. Okay, so now we have 2 of the pieces that I'm concerned about doing done. The last piece that is actually a part of the trailer and not a part of the doors is that corner over there. Alright, so this is bad. So this is supposed to be where we're going to have our hinge for our door. This wood will be cut away. But you can see, you know, this is not square with the base. Not sure exactly how that happened, but that's the way it is. So we gotta fix that. When I get to this section of projects, I like to say, measure twice, cut 5 times. So I want to make sure that this distance down here and this distance down here are both the same. And I'm going to use a plumb just to make sure that when I'm measuring that height, I'm not measuring at an angle, I'm measuring it straight up and down. Seems to want to go that way on its own. Okay, right there. Now I got some square door frames. we got our studs in place, and now we're ready to start hanging some doors, but we don't have any doors to hang. So we're gonna get working on that. I only got about 3 full-size 2x4s left though, so I think I need to go to the store and get a little bit more, and then we can get to cutting. And that assembly should be relatively straightforward. The only thing I gotta be really careful about is the height. I'm using what's called, I think it's called like a rising hinge. And because I'm using a rising hinge, I need to have, so they have a rise of 9/16 inch. So it's basically the door will come up 9/16 inch. So I need to make sure that I have good enough spacing on the tops of all these doors. But otherwise, it's just gonna be, you know, some basic boxes. They gotta be square. But other than that, it should be pretty straightforward. To prevent water intrusion from coming in from under the door, rather than do some sort of like door jamb that lifts up behind the door, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a board down on the bottom and slope the angle, or slope the front edge. And then on top of that, I have flashing that we're going to use. We're just going to run it along the top of these boards, and then we'll have it, you know, angled down across that angle, and it'll actually extend over our exterior waterproofing when we get that all set up. But for right now, I just need to get the wood cut and screwed into place, and then we can start framing. Eventually, when we get the right hinges on, when we open this up, it's going to turn and raise off of the bottom a little bit. Now the idea here is when it's in motion, when we're on the road and we're traveling, I don't want the weight of this door or the other one we're going to be building to be weighing down on the hinges. Like if I hit a bump or something and you get that jostle, that's a lot of dynamic load that's all happening on the hinges, and that's, you know, that could be a lot of weight. So to prevent that from being an issue, we're having the door rest completely on the frame, and when we open it, it's going to be metal on metal, because we're going to have the flashing on the bottom of the frame and the flashing on the top of the bottom railing, and then it's a rising hinge, so it'll lift. So the theory is it will be easy to open, and it'll be fully supported by the frame while the trailer's in motion. Well, as you can see, we now have these doors framed up. So I think this is where we're going to leave off this episode. Now next week is Christmas, or I should say this week is Christmas. So it's possible I won't do another video next week. If we do one, it might be a little shorter. I hope you're enjoying this build series, and I hope you're as interested as I am to see how well these doors work. We'll see you in about a week or two, and have a good holiday. See you later.